Most of the Docker beginners make a one mistake. They run a container as a root, use a random image, and they think everything is safe. But what if I told you that a single misconfigured container can let hacker to hack your entire system? Today I will fix that for you once and for all. Welcome to day 10 of Docker 0 to Hero series. In this video, you will be master of the Docker security basics with a real hands-on example. In this video, we will cover, let me show you my GitHub repo and I have mentioned there, and further we will discuss one by one and do a hands-on. So let's come up to my Firefox, right? And go to, this is the day 10, right? So see, in this video we will cover a non-root users in a containers, right? Second, we will cover capabilities and a seccomps. So we will cover, and third is the Docker content trust, right? Fourth is the like image scanning with a Trivy and the Anchore. And I will mention this GitHub repo in this video description, right? And sixth is the like a namespaces and Cgroup basics. So this is the topic for today. So let's start one by one with real hands-on example. So let's continue. So section 1, what is a Docker security? Let's start with the simple, right? What does a Docker security actually means? So let's start it as simple. When you start a container, it shares your host system. When you run a container, it shares a same Linux kernel, right? So if one container is insecure, then attacker could easily break out and reach out to your host. So let's come to the point. What Docker security do on it, right? Isolate a container properly, right? Scan your images regularly and give your minimal privileges and protect your secret. That provide a Docker security capabilities, right? So let's move on the next section, right? Section 2 is a non-root user used in a container. So by default, container is using as a root user. Whenever you are pulling images and run the container, by default it takes a root user, right? So I am creating here a Docker file and define there a non-root user, and I will run and I will show to, right? So I am creating here one Docker file and will let you know how to create a Docker file, and how can I create a user and how to start data profile. And so coming to the terminal, and I am control L, I Docker file, and I have already mentioned this Docker file on my GitHub repo, and as from there, right? So this is a very simple Docker file, and you see from the Alpine. So I'm using here this basics Alpine images of the very minimal sizes of these images as Alpine, and I'm creating here a new user and a group, and here the simple add group and add a user, right? And I have mentioned over there the copy this the app directory and switch to user. So this is a very simple Docker file, and if you don't know how to write a Docker file and what Docker syntaxes over there, so I have covered already that, so you can watch that videos, right? So I am just saving this Docker file, and I am building this creating a one images and run that images. So you can see over there how the app user is showing, and how can I restrict root user to non-root user, right? So at least a privilege we are providing over here. So let me save it. Escape shift colon just type here wq and enter. Yes, my docker file is there. So docker build, and you need to install a docker before doing these steps. I have already installed the docker on my server, and I am using the EC2 instances on the AWS, so you can create the same, or otherwise you can do these steps on your local system if you are using like a docker desktop, or like any if you are like a Mac user, so you can do this demo on this platform you want, so this can run on your entire system. So docker build -t, and I am hearing mention the name like a simple, so it can be make a like a sense. So I am just getting a safe app, right? Safe app dot none root, and just doing the enter here, right? So it is just a finish. So let's start this container and see. So just starting this container and removing from the minus minus rm, right? So see, running as a non-root user, right? So you see how we can create a one non-root user, and see there already showing the running as a non-root user. So you can restrict like a root user, and you can use create one user and mention there in your docker file. Don't use a root user, right? So you see how to manage the non-root user. So let's come to the next topic and start. Honest, I am going on that. So our next topic is capabilities and a Seccomp, right? So even a non-root container can get extra power by using a Linux capability, right? Like a system file changes, like a low port binding, and etc. We can drop this, can use a flag like a minus minus cap minus drop. So let's start one container using that and see how we can perform this task. If you want to add like capabilities add, you can add a minus minus cap minus add. So let's start and doing a one practical over here. So let's clear the screen. So let's clear the screen, and just I am here typing docker run minus minus rm. So see here minus minus cap minus drop all and alpine css. Let's hit enter here. So see, so unable to find locally, this is come image is alpine a latest, right? So you can add use over here, right? So I have run this container with a minus minus cap minus drop user capabilities, so this will run over here with all the required things is removed. Now this container has a zero power, right? Means this container has a zero power, right? Means we have removed all the capabilities, right? So now we are doing next things to adding the capabilities and passing through the it, and see how we can the pass to through the using and add a capability, right? So now this container has a zero power capabilities, so now we are creating once more. So just cheat from here, cheat, right? We are on our host. So let me create and add a capabilities over it, right? So see, docker run minus minus r import capability drop all and minus minus cap at net bind service. So net bind service here, you see net bind service means that this container can expose on the port as a mention, so that a bind service can run over here, right? So let's click enter over here and see, enter after ps. So see, right, docker ps, and it could be she. So see here actually what we did, like just hitting this, right? So this command is just create a container and see the capabilities at net bind service means this is allowed to expose the container on the port 80. Instead, I have dropped all the capabilities and add up one more so that my container get exposed on the port 80. So you see how we can add the capabilities and drop the capabilities, right? So now coming to the point and let's see what is a Seccomp and how it can work, right? So, this is called as a list privileges, as I shown you that cap add. So we can say that this is the list privileges to add for a container. So let's come into the point and go on the seccomps and see what seccomps can do and what we can use the seccomps, right? So syscom is like a system called firewall, right? Docker already uses a default Docker already uses a safe default Seccomp profile to, to allow to block the like a dangerous syscall. If you disable it, then it will be allow the all the syscall. This is not recommended, right? So you cannot disable a syscall, right? Seccomp cannot disable the seccomp, otherwise it will be allow the all syscall that will be dangerous, right? So let's see example how we can do it and how to understand how syscom are allowed and disallowed. You can do it, right? So let's see one example. I have just entered here like a docker run minus minus rm security of seccom equal to undefined. This is a very dangerous. You cannot do this without know what exactly you are doing, right? So I am telling you that you cannot define a seccom equal to undefined in your environment or anywhere. So this will be very dangerous for you. You don't know exactly what you are doing. So you can like mention there how a seccom allow and undefined, right? So you cannot run this, right? So don't do this in your environment if you don't know what exactly that means. It means that you are disabling it and and every syscall are uh, through the coming through the your traffic and every syscall are allowed to your container or in your network. So don't do this like syscall equal to undefined. Don't do this. I just give you a demo how you can allow and disallow this syscall, right? Seccomp. So let's move to next point, next topic, and see what is the next, like a DCT. DCT means like a Docker Content Trust. Sometimes people are uploaded a fake image to a Docker Hub, but Docker Content Trust verify the image signature to ensure you that you will be pull a trusted image. But you can enable it on your system. So see how you can enable it on your system. So let's see. Can do that like that. Can do just like export docker content trust equal to 1. So this will be ensured that you will not whenever you are pulling images from the docker hub and that image is not trusted, it will be give an error to you because you have enabled the like a docker content trust on your system. So you are the safe on the not coming the malicious images on your system. So you can enable it on your system, right? So next, coming to the next point, and so let's see, right? So image will unsigned, then Docker will refuse to pull it to on your system. So this is a DCT. So coming to the next topic, so let's see. So let's talk about the image scanning. So let's talk about vulnerabilities. So official image can have security flaws. So we can scan start using a Trivy tool like a Trivy, Grype and Anchor. So let's install that tools and we are starting image scanning, and you see how we can scanning that images, right? So first we need to install a Trivy like any software which you want to do. So I am installing here Trivy, and let's see how we can scan a Docker images. This is a very important for you, and that question will ask in an interview for you. So let's see one by one. So I am just going to. So let's install Trivy, right? And it will be installed, and then right. So let's scan a TV image alpha in 3.0. Let's see. Uh, what happened? You have to install TV minus Y, reading package done. Unable to locate the package TV. Okay, so let's install a TV, right? We are getting a such type of error because repo is not listed over here and not set a like for a Trivy. So we need to sepo and set a repo over here. For that we can install the Trivy. So let's fix one by one and set up the repo. So I have just take a command for ubuntu ec2 and like install a setting repo and everything, and you can see it is going to start to scanning, right? So let's wait once it is done, and I will back to here. So it is taking hardly 1 to 2 minutes. This is finished, and I will I will copy this command and will paste in our GitHub repo, and you can just simply can copy and paste there. Your Trivy will be installed on your system, right? So see what happened. So let's see and run our command which we have run the earlier, right? So let's see what happened. See how Trivy is working here and scanning this image, right? See vulnerabilities, severity, status, and install version. So see how Trivy is scanning that images, and you can scan the entire images which in your organization. If you are not working anywhere, so you can start using a Trivy, and Trivy can scan your entire images. So you can use it for a vulnerability scanning in images, right? See, so if anyone asks you how security vulnerabilities are using in your container environment, right? So you can tell them I am using a Trivy to scanning vulnerabilities in images, right? Sure. So our next topic is secret management. Like another beginner mistake is doing that, putting the password or like a password and like any token in a Docker file or like a environment variable. So don't use that to mention in a Docker file. Anybody can see the run the command like a Docker inspect to see over there the all the mention in your Docker file. So I can show you that vi Docker file, right? So let's remove it. Now no need wait. So I am removing it just and I am just giving my example how that is mentioned in a Docker file. Never do that, right? Just copy it from there. So like a simple. So you see, just I'm putting here the like a DB password. env DB password is equal to 12345. I'm just writing here for you for an example, right? So don't do this and hard code this value to the Docker file. Anybody can see. So you should make sure to don't use there in a Docker file in any value defined over there. So anybody can see that. So this is a very bad impact to see you are working DevOps engineer, so you can manage these things, and you can just strictly you can ask to you to don't use over here. Anybody can see and check that, right? So let's run one command to see check the demo of this example. So I am just clearing the screen and creating a db text or password and running this command. So see, I'm just my password is keeping here in the db password txt and running this container. So see what happened. Yeah, warning restrict dctt official image. So see what I have mentioned over here. So dct is showing an error. Warning retrieving dct docker official images. For more details, right? Run a docker run to help. So I have enabled to dct, right? So I am disabling here the dct what I have enabled earlier. So that is it's like tracking over here to like pulling that images. So I am just keeping the dct and this timed and the session, and just keeping +0 and enter here. So see, so I have run this is for a dct enable for the session, docker run minus minus rm minus b db password txt and alpine cat. So see how the password can see here, and this is the very wrong things we can do that, like mention any secret in any password and hard coded value in a docker file, right? So coming to the next point, like a next topic, uh, like a namespaces and a CG group, right? So let's see how container isolate themselves to each other, right? So there is a basically mainly two factor. One is the namespace and second is the CG group. So coming to the namespace and see, namespace can isolate the container to the world and isolate it to each other, right? So container have a on isolated network on file system and all on network, right? So let's see and run the command and check how the container can isolate it from the namespace. So let's come to the demo and see the actual output, right? So I have just run here the alpine images and see the on process list over here. So see, I'm right now coming at the host name. I have just run a very simple docker run minus rm it alpine is very minimalistic images. I'm running for a linux alpine, right? And sh is the shell. So see, host name is what is showing here. This is the host name of the container. I'm putting a ps minus ef, right? So see, using here the root and like that. So see how container can isolate it using a namespace, right? So on every container is on process and on isolated in the world. So see here the what is the host name, and you can go to the system on the host machine and you can check the host name. It will be so different. So every container has on its a different host name on the process. So coming to the next point, CG group can CG group can define the resource limit, how much CPU and RAM can use the container. So see how we can use the CG group to set a resource limit to the like a container. So let's run a one command and one container to check how CG group can right, so that you can understand what is the purpose of this CG group, right? So let's see, right? So see, let's exit from here and Control L. Just I am running a one find images and setting over here the memory. So see, I am inside the container and see I have set over here that my memory is 256 MB. Means that that container could not take more than 256 MB memory. So that container cannot impact our the all the resources over the server, right? So you can set the resource limit in the container that cannot take more than that resources over there, right? So you see in this command, so this container cannot crush the whole server. So this is the Day-10 of our Docker 02 series. If you learn this so I have covered more than that as per a part of the Docker security and you can tell them, so I have worked on the Docker security and implemented in our infra. So please like, share, and subscribe to Tech with Diwana. So let's meet in another video, right? Goodbye, take care.